good question. Obviously Susan Powell became missing. So as far as the specific details as to what exactly happened to her, there's no evidence to support what happened to her.
Do you have a theory you want to offer?
I certainly believe that Josh Powell is responsible for her disappearance. But beyond that, I think this organization has hope that one day she'll be located. And I know certainly Mr. Cox has a strong belief that one day she'll be located as well. Now, whether if she's alive or not, that's up for hope, I guess. But there's nothing to support that Josh murdered her other than the circumstantial evidence. This isn't your typical ideal homicide scene. There was no obvious crime scene in that home. There was no obvious murder weapon, and obviously there's no body, there's no eyewitnesses, and clearly we didn't get a confession from Joshua. Part of it was probably pre-planned, with her giving him an ultimatum that she was going to leave in the spring if he didn't change his behavior and his attitude. But as far as his actions that night and into December 7th, I think there was some actions that weren't pre-planned and were premature. I think his interaction with the police was something that was pre-planned. He previously had mentioned to friends and family his thoughts on the Mark Hacking case and some other cases as well. So I think there was some pre-planning there, where that if he was exposed to the police, how he would react, how he would answer. And then as far as the disposal of Susan's body, now how that was going to go into play, I think, was somewhat premature, just because who does that in the middle of the winter? And then goes camping. So that just tells me that something took place that evening that he had to act on. Looking at Steve Powell and seeing his infatuation with Susan and some of the crazy stuff that he had written about her and the property that he had of hers, I think it would be very easy for a defense attorney to look at that and go, Josh isn't responsible, he is. Did I want to put Josh in jail that first week, that first 2 weeks? Absolutely. I mean, I think, I had to apologize to Mr. Cox at one point and say, I'm sorry. But, I told him, I said, we're going to put this guy in jail. He's responsible. It was premature of me, because I was acting just based off of, what I had seen to that point, what I had learned to that point, and then going off of Josh's, lack of cooperation. And in the big scheme, you got to look at everything and go, okay, like I mentioned earlier, what's going to prosecute him, and what's going to cause us to lose this prosecution. I'm confident and comfortable that we would have charged him. We would have probably charged him definitely in 2012.